Ghosts and goblins will be out soon enough, right? Even if that's not your thing, it's safe to say all of us have a fear of something. Certified life purpose coach Michelle Landers is showing us some ways to conquer our fears. Michelle, hi, welcome back.
I'm so glad to be back.
We all need a way to conquer our fears, and we'll go down to 3 things in a few moments.
3 tips that'll really help. But the first thing I wanted to say about fears, you know, there's irrational fears and there's real fears and there's emotional fears. But this comedian says something real great. She says, you know what, I'm not afraid of ghosts or goblins or vampires or anything like that. But you know what I'm afraid of?
What?
That big black mole on my arm.
Oh.
I mean, that scares me.
That'll do it. Better go see a dermatologist. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or the crowd not thinking it's funny. Oh,
yeah,
man, that's toughest job.
Yeah.
All right, so life experiences do affect us, right?
Absolutely.
Affect what scares us.
Absolutely. The thing is, we have to get in touch with what is real, you know, what are our rational fears, and what are real fears. Like people have irrational fears of spiders, and they have fears of being on an airplane or things like that.
Right. Understandable.
But emotional fears can terrorize us, believe it or not. They can really terrorize us, and they can cause us to feel paralyzed, and they can really affect us physically, emotionally, cause stress, cause anxiety, and really affect how we feel, not only emotionally, but physically, create problems with us as far as health, and we don't want that.
Well, I mean, are you born with that, or at what age do we start learning how to be scared?
Interesting. Well, you know what? Our parents teach us how to be scared.
True. Watch out for the boogeyman.
Right.
Oh.
I know, and the conversations that we have around the kitchen table many times, that starts instilling fear.
That's
so,
true.
And if I can get to with people, what's going on with your childhood? You know, what did you hear? And but there are ways to deal with it. You know, there's hypnosis, but the 3 tips, number 1 is invite your fear in. Introduce yourself to your fear.
Oh, man.
It really, because it's really your friend in a way, because what it was trying to do is protect you. So invite your fear in.
Well, that's a good point.
Secondly, make friends with your fear. If you want anybody to ever listen to you, what is the first thing you have to do? You have to connect with them, and you have to be friends with them. You have to offer them something.
Right.
Same thing with your fear. Say, okay, I want to hear what you have to say. And the third thing would be challenge your fears in a gentle way. Why am I afraid of this? Where did that come from? Try to think of the first time that you ever had that kind of fear and see if you can connect it with an incident.
All right, now my daughter hates to walk to the other side of the house. Not that it's that big, but at night it's maybe scary, you know, like, hey, can you get this from my room? And, you know, what's she afraid of?
Well, that's interesting too, because kids around Gracie's age, which is 11, right?
Yes.
A lot of times kids, because now they're indoctrinated into the world and they hear things, all of a sudden they start developing these different fears. So fear of the dark is a very common. But then the question is, you have an open dialogue with them and say, okay, so tell me about that. What do you think's going to happen? You know, explain to me, what do you think's going to happen?
And the thing is, most of our fears in general never do happen.
They don't, and that's why insurance companies make so much money. And you're not going to believe this, or you probably will believe it, but there is insurance for, it's called cold feet insurance.
Oh, wow, no, I didn't know that.
In case your betrothed backs out.
Jeez, that's true.
And then there's also alien abduction insurance, which you can
for
get.
That?
Real insurance.
I'm sure it's high cost. All right. What happens if we spend too much time worrying about all these things?
Well, interestingly, our cells are like little eavesdroppers, and so is the universe. And you know, I kind of believe in this connection in all things. So when you fear, obsess about a fear over and over again, it's kind of like what your mother or father might have said, I'll give you something to cry about. Well, the universe or your cells will say, okay, I'm going to give you something to worry about. So it's really a good idea to meet your fears, confront them, challenge them, and make friends with them.
All right, so you heard it here from the pros. The pro. All right, thank you so much, Michelle.
Thanks so much. Oh, and by the way, I definitely, people email me, I'll send them a MP3.
Okay, good deal.
Journey to Awakening.
All right, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
See you next time.